Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you are doing well, and today we've actually got some pretty good news, at least for me good news, because the guy that has just been pegged to be the lead role in the upcoming Disney Plus series The Mandalorian is a guy that I have personally really liked from his work from Game of Thrones, and I think that he might actually be a perfect fit for this character that they're going to be setting up, and that man is Pedro Pascal. Now, anyone that does not know, Pedro Pascal played one of the coolest characters on Game of Thrones, the Viper. If anyone remembers, one of the best fight scenes that ever happened was the Viper versus the Mountain, and it was one of the coolest fight scenes. You had power versus skill. He was cocky, he was just so full of himself, and then it ended up being his downfall. Spoiler alerts, but then again, it's been a long time since that episode came out, so it's your fault for not keeping up with it. But the fact that that dude, the badass, the Viper, the man himself, who just brought so much life, has so much natural charisma, I think he's perfect. You see, this is a man who can be a lead role. Let's go back to Diego Luna. Diego Luna is a great actor, but he doesn't have that quality. He doesn't have that star persona, that personality, that charisma that can carry an entire movie, let alone an entire series, which is what Diego Luna is going to be doing, because they're going to be having this entire pre-Rogue One series starring him. Again, he's a fine actor. I just don't think that is the character first off, I don't think that's the character to go after, and second, I don't think that he is the man that should be in the lead role. Maybe if they split the billing with him, maybe a female character, because, you know, that's what they're going to have to do, but either way, if they're able to somehow split the character, maybe it'll work. But this, you don't need anyone else. You obviously can have your supporting cast, but this is the dude. This is the man that has enough charisma on screen to be able to get through anything. So Pedro Pascal. So as it says right here, it says, Pedro Pascal has been tapped to star in the Star Wars TV series The Mandalorian, which is expected to premiere on the Disney streaming service. Pascal's name had been previously rumored for the role, but sources say he was one of the many actors being considered. Now, insiders tell Variety that he has been offered the role and negotiations are underway. So it looks like he has not fully accepted the role, but if they are confident enough to put this stuff out there, it seems almost likely, almost definitely, that he will be taking this on. I don't know any actor that would turn down a role like this, especially one that's going to get a lot of money, definitely several $1 million worth of money just to be in this series, to have a series on the Disney streaming network, which means essentially it's protected. It doesn't have to worry about ratings necessarily. Really, Star Wars and Disney could just say, oh yeah, it's doing fine, it's doing well, and keep on making episodes. But to be honest, this actually now has me excited for the Mandalorian series. Already beforehand, I said, you know what, I'm intrigued by it. It could be really interesting. It's talking about, you know, Mandalore. It's talking about this place that we've had referenced in the Clone Wars. It's talking about this place where we got Jango Fett, Boba Fett from. Now we get to see an entirely different story within this universe. And again, this is Disney doing things right. You know, I attack Disney all the time. I call Disney out on their BS whenever I can. But when they do something right, or at least when they seem to be doing something right, I have to give them props. So the fact that The Mandalorian is going to be focusing on this story that occurs within the Star Wars universe, but is also its own self-contained story that is independent of other things, I think is a good thing, because they need to start expanding out, and having the right actors, having the right characters to do that is most important. And I think that Pedro Pascal would be the perfect option for this role, if it indeed is going to be him in the lead role. If he is the Mandalorian, I'm down. I might not buy the streaming service, but I am down to at some point find some way to watch the series because of the fact that his name is attached to it. Now, many other people, they might say, I don't really know him. I don't really know of his work. Guys, I can tell you this right now. If you want, just look up on YouTube, look up Pedro Pascal highlights, look up Game of Thrones highlights, look up the Viper highlights, look up the fight between the Viper and the Mountain. This dude bleeds charisma. This dude literally just exudes quality charisma on every single take of every single second of every single scene that he's in. So I am very, very excited for this, to say the very least. Jon Favreau penned the series, which is set after the fall of the Empire, before the emergence of the First Order. It follows the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. So it looks like this already. Remember how there were rumors that they were going to try and make this a female character, which again, if they make a good character with a great backstory, great. If they just make her a female for the sake of making her female, not so much. But if Pedro Pascal is the one that's being chosen here, people can try and say, oh, but what about he's not white or anything like that? I don't care. I mean, again, most people, we don't care about that. We don't care about race. We care, are they a good actor and can they carry the series? Pedro Pascal can carry the series. Pedro Pascal has the capacity, has the ability, has the acting chops to be able to pull off this role. And I think that he is going to do a fantastic job. So to me already, this show is getting better and better by the day. Not only do you have Jon Favreau attached to it, not only do you now have Pedro Pascal attached to it, but also it has Dave Filoni attached to it as well. So Disney recently announced that Dave Filoni, who has worked on Star Wars The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, will direct the first episode of the series. So he is going to be directing this first episode of The Mandalorian. That has me excited because that man knows what he's doing. Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi also is going to be directing an episode. They mentioned Bryce Dallas Howard. I mean, to me, whatever. That seems more of a diversity play than anything else, because all I've ever seen her is run in high heels in Jurassic World. I don't really know if she has directing chops, but who knows? Maybe she could be good. We've seen plenty of series. For example, I used to watch Smallville a lot. Tom Welling directed a couple of episodes. So it is possible for actors to be able to step back and actually take on that directing role, but it is still something that I think we should keep an eye out for. But Taika Waititi, oh man, Taika Waititi is fantastic, is wonderful. Dope was a wonderful film. Rick Famuyiwa. Again, Dope was great, so I already trust. I don't even know who that person is. I don't even know who Rick is or what they've done or what their background is. All I know is that Dope was a dope film, and so I trust that. And then Deborah Chow, Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones, if it means Jessica Jones Season 2, that could be problematic, but who knows? Maybe they'll do better in a different medium. Favreau is also executive producing the show, along with Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, and Colin Wilson. Karen Gilchrist will serve as co-executive producer. Disney also announced in the earnings call on Thursday that it would be doing a prequel series for the Rogue One character, Cassian Andor, playing Diego Luna, which, again, I think is a mistake. I don't think that's a good move on their part. I think that is more politically motivated than anything else. There really is no reason for that show to exist. There really is no reason for that character to be getting their own series. When you have other characters in that movie that are significantly more interesting and he's the one that gets pegged, it has to make you ask questions. Sorry, that's just the way that it is. But Pedro Pascal, yes, great actor, a well-established actor within the Game of Thrones television series, so we know that he can play television characters well. He's not some big screen guy who has to go to the small screen. He's a guy that had his name, made his name on the small screen, playing one of the most badass characters among Game of Thrones. When all that stuff was going down, oh man, he was amazing. I cannot wait to see it. But guys, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Are you actually hyped for The Mandalorian now? I personally am, to be honest. Again, I think he is absolutely fantastic. And there was a picture here in the very beginning, but of course, as you all know, they always love to play these videos. But anyway, that is the man right there. Let me see if I can get this stupid thing out of the way. So that is Pedro Pascal. So again, the Viper, the man himself. Again, the man who took on the mountain and even outwitted and beat the mountain until his cockiness got in the way and led to his downfall. But this dude right here, this is the man. And also what's interesting too is that he does not look too far off from what Boba Fett and Jango Fett look like as well. So maybe they tie that in and say that the Mandalorians are a particular race of people. They could definitely do that within the Star Wars universe, and I think that this would also keep that in line with it. So this is not too far off. It was not like if they had casted a blonde hair, blue-eyed person, in which case it would have been like, oh, wait a minute, how are Jango, Boba, and this person all part of the same group of people? I mean, I'm sure they could have explained it, but it would have been a little bit more complicated to do. But this guy looks awesome. Pedro Pascal, again, go check out his work on it as well, and let me know. Are you now excited for the Mandalorian series? I have to say, I'm now a little bit more hyped. I was going through my Star Wars articles, and I was like, wait a minute, I know this dude. This is awesome. This is great. Yeah, not quite enough to make me buy the Disney Plus series. Again, as I said before, I've said this, and you can go back and check the tape. The only exception, the only time that I will ever actually buy the Disney Plus series is if the library they provide, and I mean the classic library, if they offer every single classic Disney movie or something to that effect, Disney shows, like classic Disney shows, that's when I would think about buying it. Especially, when we look to the future of wanting to, show these things to kids and everything like that, I think that is something that'd be worth investing in. And if that's the case, boom, I will be watching this series. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Again, please wish my computer well. It is literally sitting behind my orange couch right now because I'm just so frustrated with it. I have the most crazy setup right now with my laptop being plugged into an out port, plugged into my monitor, plugged into everything else. My mouse isn't working quite right. It's acting very slow, but it makes sense because it's all coming through this one port. Technology is incredible. But anyway, guys, have a great day, and as always, God bless.